It was a bright sunny day when Zelda the zebra woke up. She was hungry, so she decided to go out for a snack. She moseyed around until she found the perfect producer for her morning appetite. The producer this morning was a big leafy shrub that catered to her specific tastes of grass, leaves, and twigs. As Zelda munched away on her breakfast, she thought about what she was going to do that day. Her thoughts rambled through going swimming in the watering hole and taking a nice long nap in the sun. Her herd was out grazing when they heard a roar far off in the distance. The older zebras in the herd raised their heads and became more aware of their surroundings while still eating. Another roar sounded, and this time it was closer. The older zebras started rounding up the younger ones and herding them to a safer spot. The next thing Zelda sees is a huge lion running out of the tall grass straight for her. Zelda's mother rushes her away at the last minute, but not before Zelda sees the lion going after one of the older zebras who's been sick lately and can't seem to get out of the way as fast. She tries to ask her mom why they are being attacked, but her mother hushes her. Once her mother was assured of their safety, her mother begins to explain why the lion attacked them for seemingly no reason. "Well, you know how we're consumers of plants, Zelda?" she asks. Zelda nods her head and says yes, they provide the nutrients we need in order to survive that we can't make ourselves. Zelda's mother nods and says, "Very good, but not all consumers eat just plants." Zelda looked confused and her mother continued with, "There are 3 types of consumers: herbivores, carnivores, and omnivores." Zelda looked even more confused as she tried to pronounce the words her mother just said. When she couldn't, her mother simplified. Herbivores are like us, animals that eat just plants. Carnivores are like that lion you saw, and they only eat other animals. Omnivores are like the hyenas we avoid on the other side of the plains, and they eat plants and animals. It took a minute for Zelda to process this all and what it meant, and she asked, "But why do they have to eat us?" Her mother took a moment and said, "Well, it's all a part of the food chain. We eat the plants, the carnivores eat us, and when we die, our remains are food for other animals like the vultures and worms, and they are called decomposers because they eat decaying plants and animals. When we die, our bodies add minerals to the earth as well, which allow the plants to grow." Zelda thinks about this for a long while and then asks, "Does this mean that the older zebra that the lion was chasing is dead?" Her mother looked at her seriously and said, "He might be, but we can hope that he isn't until we can be sure. In the meantime, think about the food chain I was talking about and know that even if he was eaten, he will still be here in the plants and trees that are still thriving." Zelda's mother ventures off to make sure they're still safe and to check on the rest of the herd, while leaving Zelda pondering the new information her mother gave her. She feared for the outcome of the older zebra she had seen, yet she was glad she now knew the reason behind the attack. The lion was just hungry. It was her herd's bad luck they were in his path. She decided to make an extra effort to be more aware of her surroundings so she wouldn't endanger her herd accidentally. Her mother came back a bit later to tell Zelda the older zebra had gotten away and that the lion had given up, but she told Zelda to remember what they talked about and to remember her place in the food chain.